Hey guys, welcome back to the homestead. My name is Mike, and today I got something really cool to show you. We're starting our seeds in the freezing winter of New Jersey. And I've got a pretty cool trick that's gonna give me great success, and you guys can try this too, but you gotta do it now before your last frost date. So let's get right into it. So some of the varieties that you could grow in the winter before the last frost date are typically leafy greens, things that aren't gonna provide or grow some kind of a fruit itself. Things like your lettuces, your kales, your cabbages, things like broccoli, which are brassicas. These are all cold weather crops, but they're not that cold tolerant where you can grow them in ice. I've got a trick to get these started before the last frost date. Let me show you guys what I'm gonna do. Now, some of you might be thinking, oh, well, you're just gonna start your seeds in your greenhouse there to give you that head start and then transplant into the garden, which you're close, but no cigar. Now, while it is very warm in here right now, while the sun is up and actually shining into the greenhouse here, it just can't overcome the freezing cold of the winter once that sun goes down. Inside of a greenhouse here, it's being actively heated and capturing that heat by using greenhouse effect. Now, once the sun goes down, it's dark in here. This inside of this greenhouse gets just as cold as it is outside of the greenhouse, which is a big no-no for starting seedlings. Now, I know some of you guys might be thinking, well, why don't you use a heating source or a heating mats for your trays, or even 55-gallon drums of water to kind of retain that heat from the sun and then give you a great heating source throughout the night until the next day when the sun comes up? And the answer is, I've tried almost everything there is to try in this greenhouse in the dead of winter, just aside from just running propane heat all the time. I actually have a really cool video on a propane heater that does really well in here, but I won't get that started until the end of March, if not early April, when I'm really going into full production and starting all of my seeds and fig tree cuttings inside of this greenhouse. So let me show you guys where we're gonna be going with these seedlings. So we have a pretty cool setup here where these trays are sitting inside of a big tray, and underneath that big tray, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's actually a heating mat underneath there. Now that heating mat is underneath all of these, pops out over here, and it actually is tied into this thing, which is a thermostat, which is really cool. So what this is reading right now is 74.3. That's the current soil temperature, and our heating element is on. Now, how does it tell what's going on? Well, we have a thermometer probe that's inside of my fig tree cutting right here that's doing really well. And it basically is sending that data to that thing, which tells it, okay, turn the heat on, and it turns these mats on, which are currently being heated. Now, once that gets to 80 degrees or 79.5, it'll turn off the heat, so it guarantees that these little individual cells, where all of our seedlings will be, are going to always be between 75 and 80 degrees, which is perfect for growing vegetables, at least germinating seeds. So let's go ahead and get started here. I wanted to show you guys how I plant these things, and what the setup was to get them going in the dead of winter. So let's do that.
So going over some of the basics here. Number one, I always like to wet my soil down before I get started. Seeds don't like air. They germinate pretty well in just about any medium, and seeds actually come pre-packaged in their little seed pod by Mother Nature with all the nutrients that they're going to need for about a week or two once they germinate. So you don't need to add any nutrients, just water. Now, I don't use any supplemental light. As you can see, we're in front of the sliding glass door, and that's enough sunlight to get these little guys going, and it actually helps them establish their root system a little more. Now, they will stretch just a little bit toward the sun when they first come out of the soil, and that's okay, because these are eventually going into the greenhouse where they'll have plenty of sunlight and they'll be able to really establish their leaf structure before they go into the garden. So that's really all I do to start my seeds, is wet the soil and put them in. Now my soil blend is a mixture of vermiculite, peat moss, perlite, cocoa coir, and leaf mold, and really just a handful of two or each in each tray, and that's enough to fill these trays out, and it gives a great medium for the seeds to start. Leave me a comment down below on what you guys use to start your seeds.
Alright guys, so here we are. This is that same tray. We are out in the greenhouse now. I just moved these guys out to the greenhouse, but if you guys see, we have great success with all of our little starts. There's a lot of them popped up. They stretched out a little bit. The onions are doing great. I am very happy with that. We had almost 100% success. There was a little bit of a dry spot in this area where these cells didn't start, but everything else started really nicely, and this gave us that head start to the season that we needed. Now we're into March and we are off to the races with our garden. So I'm going to get more trays like this going as the season goes so that I have a nice repetition or a perpetual harvest as I get these into the ground. The new seedlings will start, so on and so forth, and we'll go all the way into the season. And may I just make a little side note, this fig tree is just doing amazing. Look at how great that is. We just moved this guy outside too. I'm going to give it a couple hours a day so that these leaves don't get burned up by this sunlight. Alright guys, so that's the end of the video here. We're all finished up. We have the head start to the season that we were looking for. It's a beautiful March day today. Our seedlings are up, the snow has melted, and we got ahead of the game here by thinking a little bit ahead while there was still snow on the ground. So if you guys like this video, hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more from me, and I'll see you guys on the next video, which will be very soon. Take care, guys.
So as I sit here and I edit this, we're at the end of the video, and I just wanted to make some comments here. Looking at ahead into a new season of videos. I'm going to be trying to put videos out once a week, and I do want to say thank you to everyone who recently subscribed to my channel here. We're at 2,600 subscribers, almost 2,700, which is just incredible. I can't believe that people out there really want to watch my content, and it's amazing because it just gives me more motivation to put out more videos and higher quality videos. So I do want to thank everybody that subscribed, and if you haven't subscribed, thanks for stopping by. You know, I'm working on my quality of videos and making them shorter and sweeter, and that's always going to be an evolution. I'm always going to be trying to get better. So you know, just going over that, I do want to make a point that these videos are going to be covering a lot of different topics. I'm going to be trying to touch on everything that encompasses homesteading and being self-reliant. So that's going to be the focus and the gear toward future videos as I start to develop my property here over in New Jersey and possibly outward and to different properties. So stay tuned for all those new videos to come out as I develop an orchard here. I have 2 acres in New Jersey that I plan on developing and building an orchard geared toward fig trees in specific. So that'll be fun for all you fig tree growers and all you general growers in the homesteading community or the gardening community that just wants to see plants grow. I'm going to be putting a lot of stuff on that and everything else. So stick with me, subscribe if you haven't, and again, thank you guys for subscribing. We'll see you in the future. Take care.